Hello, lovely people, and welcome back to another video. Please, if you haven't watched yesterday's pre-market analysis video, I'll link it to this video right here. That's a detailed version so that you could understand what is actually happening today. All right. So with Euro USD, yesterday price came back into the daily supply. Price came back into this daily supply right here. Price came back into that area, which literally will be this supply right here on the H1 time frame. Okay, so price came back into it and then gave a distribution to this demand. All right, that ended up breaking this demand right here. Okay, so once again, when we are breaking demands, that means we are bearish and price is going to look for another demand. So once price invalidated this demand, price found this demand. And this is the demand price is currently giving a reaction from. Okay. So when we look at Euro USD on the 1 hour time frame, we can see that Euro USD is currently giving a bearish trend. All right. When price came up, created this higher high, higher low, and higher high. Price ended up invalidating this higher low right here. Okay. And price gave this one, made this one the lower high, and this is the current lower low. Okay, so in confluence with price breaking this demand, we could say, or we could say with we could predict with 80 to 90% confidence that price is starting to create a bearish trend, okay? Or price is creating a sell side liquidity, all right? And that doesn't mean that price is going to sell if we've created a sell side liquidity. No, that means that anticipation for sales will be high, all right? So Euro USD is currently bearish. We've created a sell side liquidity. Yesterday, I said that price created this bullish move into the sell side liquidities, okay? And now price is acting like it wants to create a perfect bearish trend. So what are our supplies and demand next in this area? This will be the next supply on the H1 time frame. Okay, the next supply that price might go to help the bearish move continue, or price might validate to create a bullish move once again. Okay, so we still have this demand right here. So the expectancy for today will be it's either price will retrace into this 1 hour supply right here to then give an impulse back into maybe a demand created here for either price to invalidate it and continue to this H4 demand. If not that, you see that price will invalidate this demand right here and pull back into this H4 supply right here. All right. On the H4, we currently don't have any supply in it. It's only the demand we have from here and also the demand created yesterday, which is in confluence with the H1 demand that price is currently giving an impulse from. So when we look at XAUSD also, on XAUSD yesterday, I said that price might consolidate in this session right here, right? Price didn't end up doing that. Okay, price ended up going into the supply but not touching it. But on the lower time frames, you can see price. Let me show you. On the lower time frame right here, you can see that price used the supply to then continue the move downward. Okay, breaking or invalidating this H4 demand and H1 demand as well. Okay, so yes, now this has been invalidated. This demand has been invalidated. And right now, XAUSD is still bearish, okay? Though we haven't invalidated this sell side liquidity, okay? This is the current lower high and this is the current lower low right here. Yes, yes, yes. So, okay, price has broken, has invalidated the current lower low right here, okay? So we have now formed a continuation bearish trend, which this one is the current lower low, and this one is the current lower high. Okay, so we are now in a sell side liquidity. Price has invalidated this supply right here. And now, let me delete this. And now price is starting to give an impulse from this supply right here. Okay, so what is the expectancy for today on XAUSD? Is either this supply is going to give the distribution into this demand, okay, and this demand will decide if the bearish move would like to continue, or if this supply gets invalidated, our next supply of interest as this H1 supply and this H4 supply. So these supplies can give a move into a demand for the demand to then decide if the bearish move wants to continue. Okay, so that's it for XAUUSD bearish. And when we look at BTC USD, on BTC USD, yesterday we had this supply right here, and I said that it's either this supply will get invalidated and we will use this supply to then give a move to a demand. But price ended up using this very supply to then give a move into this demand right here. Okay, this demand. Price is currently sitting in this demand. So now, what should we expect for BTC USD? If price invalidates this demand and close underneath this low, which is a demand invalidation, that means that nothing is stopping price to find another demand underneath these lows right here. Okay, it's either price, the next target for price will be this H4 demand. All right, because BTC USD, the current trend is bearish. Okay, we have this lower high, we have this lower low. Neither the high or the low has been invalidated, so we are currently creating inner structures. Okay, so we created this inner bullish trend, and now we have a demand created here. So if this demand is invalidated, that means that this inner structure has been invalidated into a potential bearish trend. Okay, and therefore has created a sell side liquidity. All right. So yes, it's either this demand will give an impulse into a supply for the supply to decide if the continuation inner bullish structure will continue to break or invalidate the whole or the overall trend, or this demand will get invalidated for price to reach new lows. So that's it for BTC USD. BTC USD is currently bearish, sitting inside a 1 hour demand area. Okay, so XAUSD price found this demand after giving this impulse and creating the sell side liquidity. Price found this 1 hour 1 hour demand right here. Okay, yes, and price invalidated this one and now in this one. So yes, as I said, we can either retrace into here for this one to decide, because we've got into a demand. Maybe this demand can overcome all the sell side liquidity to then create a bullish trend. Okay, we don't know, we just anticipate. Okay, it's either we get a move into this demand, or we validate this demand to further look for another supplies up here. Okay, so BTC USD is currently bearish and inside the demand. XAUSD currently bearish inside the sell side liquidity, is trying to give an impulse from a supply. And on Euro USD, we are also currently creating a potential bearish move, okay, or creating a sell side liquidity. Right, so we anticipate either we get a bullish setup or we get a bearish setup in this zone right here. Since we are sitting inside a demand, if we get a bullish setup, it will be valid for us to look for supplies to then either exhaust the bullish move or not. Okay, so yes, that's it for today. And also, let me show you one thing. Also, there's news today at 1:45 p.m. for USD. Literally, we have one at 1 p.m. for USD, 1:45 for USD, and 2 p.m. for USD. So 1 to 1:45 is low impact, okay, and 2 p.m. is the medium impact, okay. So medium impact expected, and this is the low impact expected. So we'll see if these news will have an impact on the market. today. All right. So yes, that is it for this video. I'll be very happy if you like, subscribe, and leave a comment for me. You can share your opinion. You can tell me what I can do to improve my videos, or you can tell me something I could add to the videos to make it better for you. All right, we are all learning. So I'll be very, very, very grateful. I can't do it without any of you watching. So please like, subscribe, and leave a comment for me. Thank you once again, and see you in tomorrow's video. Peace out.